Hello everyone, I'm Marwa Ben Yaala and I'm a postdoc researcher at the University of Strathclyde. So for the next 15 minutes I'll give you an overview of our group research activities focusing mainly on ion beam deposition and thin film characterization. First, let me introduce our coatings group. We are a group of 7 researchers. Our group leader, Professor Reed, 2 postdocs, Dr. Paul Hill and myself, and 4 PhD students. We are working on several projects, including coatings development for gravitational wave detectors, mirrors, coatings with high laser induced damage threshold, piezo coatings for sensors, DLCs, so diamond-like carbon thin films for cardiovascular implants, and one PhD student is focusing on investigating the impact of post-deposition thermal treatments on optical coatings performance. For all the projects I mentioned, our work is based on ion beam deposition technique. So in this slide I will briefly present what is IBD and why we use it. So the ion beam deposition technique is the most advanced deposition technology for the most critical demands on optical coatings. So it works with a 9 source, with the gas here is gas molecules are ionized and accelerates onto a target. Then the coating material is spattered off and deposited on a rotating substrate to form the thin film. So what is particular about this technique? In this table I included a comparison between the different deposition methods, including electron beam evaporation, ion assisted deposition, ion plating, and magnetron spattering. As you can see, the IBD is the method that produces thin films with the highest packing density, the highest quality, and the best optical properties, including lowest losses and low absorption and scattering. So our IBD system in Strathclyde consists of a large ultra-high vacuum chamber equipped with a 16 cm radiofrequency source, cooling backing plates for holding the targets, and a planetary rotating stage. And we are in the process of purchasing a new large-scale system customized for gravitational wave mirrors. So the system is able to coat simultaneously two 62 centimeters and 200 kilograms optics. So along with the 2 standard RF IBD system I just presented in the previous slide, our group is developing a novel electron cyclotron resonance IBD technology. And to explain here the main difference from standard IBD, I'm presenting on the top a common sources, the Kaufman and the inductively coupled RF source, and down the ECR source. So in both Kaufman and RF source, ions are extracted and then accelerated using a grid system presented here by the red dashes, and this grid presents a source of contamination for the final coatings. However, in the ECR source, the ion beam is formed by injecting the sputtering gas into a resonant microwave cavity, where it gets ionized, and the highly confined beam is then extracted through apertures. So if you compare both now, if you compare like the ECR to the conventional source, this technique offers several advantages, mainly for being filament free, gridless, and that means that we have less contamination levels in the coatings. It's also a maintenance free technique with a low current and order of magnitude higher in extraction potential. So currently we are developing and using 3 different ECR systems for our coatings. The first one here is the one that has the capability to deposit at high temperatures, and this was the first system that demonstrated the world record in the fabrication of the lowest absorption amorphous silicon thin film, so less than 20 ppm at 1550 nanometer. And we are also working with two multi-source systems, one with 6 ions GaNs, 2 ionizers, and the new one that we developed in collaboration with Polygon Physics, and it consists of 24 ECR source systems. So in this slide here, I'm presenting the deposition parameters that we are varying in order to tune some coatings properties. These parameters include so the deposition temperature, the annealing temperature, sputtering gases. We are using argon, nitrogen, oxygen, and are planning to use xenon, and also playing with the gas mixture, so the ratio between argon and oxygen. We are using substrate with different properties, mainly the surface roughness, depositing also from different targets. So for the same material, we have the flexibility either to use an oxide or a metal target, and also we have the possibility to use an ion assist source in the process. And here I'm presenting two examples of deposition parameters impacting film properties. The first one on the top here, you can see the change of the refractive index of Hafnia films with the oxygen to argon ratio. So both in sputtering gases that are injected through the sources. And in this figure here down is shown the variation of the band gap of Scandia films, Scandia dot silica, with the annealing temperature. So the materials we are depositing are different depending on the application. For the gravitational waves research projects, we are investigating mainly oxides along with amorphous silicon and silicon nitrides. For the laser damage, the main target we are currently using are Hafnia, Scandia, and silica, and we are also depositing diamond-like carbons for biomedical application, and zinc oxide and aluminium nitride for piezoelectric film properties. So for the characterization of the deposited thin films, we are using currently photon RT spectrophotometer that is capable of measuring the reflectance, transmittance both with and without polarization. And this spectrophotometer covers a wide range of wavelength from 220 to 5200 nanometer, and also have the flexibility to measure with variable angular configuration. We have also a Q-tank setup to developed by our group for measuring the mechanical loss associated with the coating thermal noise. And we have access in the University of Strathclyde to several other characterization methods, including WDX for quantitative elemental analysis of the thin film, ACF for the surface topography and also composition, the ADX for the elemental composition also, the XRD for the crystal structure, and AFM, DECTAC, and white light interferometry for surface topography. We are also getting support from Stanford and Glasgow universities to measure sub-ppm absorption at 3 wavelength using the photothermal common path interferometry, and are trying to get a fund to set up a cavity ring down experiment at 1064 and 1550 nanometer. So concerning the ongoing activities, we are currently investigating materials with corner sharing properties including germanium oxide, so germanium, but also germania titanium alloys, where the titanium will be used to increase the germania refractive index, and a third material, the tellurium oxide. And this is based on the findings published by Prasad while studying the zirconia doped tantalum films, and where he showed that the mechanical loss is correlated to the fraction of corner sharing in the amorphous structure, and also that annealing increases this corner shared polyhedra and decreases the edge and face sharing polyhedra. And another project under preparation now with the University of the West of Scotland and Dundee University, where the objective is to try to correlate laser damage threshold of coatings with gravitational waves related properties, including the mechanical loss and optical properties like the airbag energy and the absorption. And for more details, please see the talk by Dr. Carlos Nunez. So I thank you for your attention, and if you have further questions, please ask during the meeting discussion sessions, and also feel free to contact Professor Reed or myself for further discussion or maybe a possible collaboration. Thank you.